Hello, dear friends. I'm Marina from MarsStars.net, and this is the June horoscope for everyone with their sun or ascendant sign in Scorpio. Very important month. For all of us, we have something which happens once in 2 years. Mars goes retrograde. For you guys with Scorpio sun or ascendant, this is actually even more important because Mars is one of the rulers of your sign. So you can feel this period more intense, and it might be more important for you. Now, this will happen by the end of the month, so stay with me until the end of the video to learn more about this exciting, interesting, and at the same time unfamiliar event for us, because this is something happening once in 2 years and we need to prepare better than usual. Now, the beginning of the month actually starts with a grand trine, one basically the most harmonious aspect configuration we can possibly have. And in this case, we have Venus in Cancer, Jupiter in Scorpio, and Neptune in Pisces. And in your case, of course, this activates the fire houses, first, fifth, and ninth house. So a very harmonious combination to start something new. And of course, water is always related to emotions and feelings and imagination and inspiration. So for all of those issues, this is a great supportive aspect configuration. Plus, specifically for you guys, this is a great time to start something new. Also, this combination, fifth, first house, Venus, Jupiter, plus Neptune, can bring new love into your life. So open up your heart, expect something really positive to happen and allow the positive energy to enter your life. The energy is very supportive, specifically the first week of June. We can feel the impact of this grand trine, actually quite rare event. And all of the planets are very harmonious. Actually, we have only positive planets and kind of similar to each other, not completely, but they can really support each other and, of course, support us all. So start something new. Don't be afraid to take some risks. Don't be afraid to be initiative. And you may really enjoy all of those activities which you will start. It can bring you personal fulfillment and satisfaction. Okay, the other thing which we have at the very beginning of June, the transit sun is in Gemini in your 8th house. So this is kind of a challenging position. Now, 8th house energy is actually very close to you. Scorpio, Pluto, 8th house, they are similar. So it's not something completely unfamiliar to you, but it's still intense. It's still, in some cases, challenging and requires from you to transform something. Remember, the keyword about 8th house is transformation. The other keyword is crisis. But in order to avoid crisis, or in order to manage and handle with critical situations, we need to transform something. In most of the cases, it's actually transforming something within ourselves. That's what we have power over. And that's where I truly believe we need to start with. So think about this period, about what should you change in yourself, what needs to be transformed, what can help you if you change it. And you might be surprised actually about the results that you can have. Plus, the sun in 8th house, the transit sun in 8th house, is also a great time to take care of some financial issues, specifically if you need some mutual finances or you would like to make some investments. This is also very harmonious. After the 21st of June, I think that things will become easier and even more positive for you, actually, because the sun enters your 9th house and Cancer. And 9th house is one of the most positive houses in the chart. So it's about inspiration, it's about our belief system, about our expectations for the future, about our goals. And it would be a fantastic time actually to set some new goals, to think about the future, to imagine what would you like to achieve in the future, and maybe even to start planning in this direction, to start moving in this direction, to start seeing things as you would like them to be in your life. And you might be very inspired and get out of this, intense, kind of difficult emotional period before that. Also, Mercury will be in Gemini in your 8th house at the very beginning of the month. This transit can make you, dive deep into certain topic. Sometimes you can get kind of obsessed about certain area, but also you have the opportunity to transform something. Mostly transform ideas about something, maybe your expectations, maybe your vision about something important in your life. You might be more suspicious during this time. You can also have some trust issues. And don't force yourself. This is not the best time to, push hard to communicate and connect with others. This is more an introverted period. 8th house is one of the most secret places in the horoscope. So it's private, it's personal, and it has to be that way. So take your own time, pay attention to your inner world, and things will change, of course. After that, from the 12th of June, we have Mercury entering your 9th house in the sign Cancer. So you might be more open to other people after this day. You might enjoy to think about, some future projects or plan something. Again, you need to think of, bigger scale. You need to think about something important about the future. Don't focus so much on details, on small things. Instead, try to find out the meaning of something, because finding the meaning of something can be a great motivational power, especially if you want to achieve something concrete, if you have a concrete goal. First of all, answer this question: what's the meaning? Why am I doing this? And it can boost your energy and desire and motivation. After the 29th, Mercury will enter Leo and your 10th house, which is mostly putting focus on career, on work, and very productive time for signing business contracts, making some plans, organizing the working process, negotiations with authority figures, business trips as well. So mostly your attention, your mind might be more focused on work, which of course can be very productive influence and supportive. Okay, so next we have Venus, which will be in 9th house in Cancer at the very beginning of June. And this is actually very nice also for focusing on goals and future. You may really enjoy planning something. Also, 9th house is about education, so you may enjoy learning something new, learning something which will expand your worldview, which will help you understand something and understand the meaning of something. Also, 9th house is about traveling, so you can really enjoy traveling somewhere, especially if it's abroad. And after the 13th of the month, after the 13th of June, Venus will enter Leo and your 10th house, harmonizing career, work, business projects, making you feel more comfortable with your work. If you have some confrontations with other people, this is the time to solve those issues. You may notice that you are more capable of compromising. Other people, specifically in your work, may also be more willing to make compromises, to find solutions. So very harmonizing, very soft transit, which can make you also enjoy your work even more. Next, we have Neptune, which will go retrograde on the 19th of June. Neptune will be stationary at the 16 degrees and 30 minutes in Pisces, which in your chart activates 5th house. Now, this is not such a big deal because normally Neptune is retrograde for a couple of months each year. So it's not so stressful and problematic actually for Neptune to be retrograde. However, the exact day and a few days before and after that, when the planet changes its direction, the energy is very intense. And especially if it activates certain house in your chart or any planet in your horoscope, you may feel very strong the impact. And with Neptune, you need to be careful for possible misunderstandings, mistakes, complications, lies, cheats, illusions, of course, as well. And it relates in your case to fifth house, which means romantic area, romantic life, children, anything related to creativity and art, and personal issues as well. Finally, guys, we also have the last and the most important event for this month, which is Mars going retrograde. This happens after the 27th of June. Mars will be retrograde for 2 months. This time it's retrograde in Aquarius. After that, it will move to Capricorn, but for now it's still in Aquarius. And for that event, we are going to have a special webinar. You can find more and the link, of course, in the description below this video. Everyone who participates in the webinar will also get a personal report about Mars retrograde and what will be activated in their chart, like house position, like any major planetary aspects with your natal planets, very, very important. And in this way, you will be prepared and know actually how stressful it's gonna be and what you should be careful with, because this is a very personal issue. Yes, for most of you who have your sun or ascendant sign in Scorpio, Mars will be retrograde in fourth house. However, in some cases, it might be a little bit different depending on the exact degree of your chart. And in order to answer that, I need to see your personal chart to be specific. Of course, I can tell you that normally, generally, you need to be careful with family, with home issues, avoid property, like buying new property, or there might be some things you need to solve with that area. But to give you more information, personal, I need to see the chart. So if you're interested, please find the link in the description below. You will also get a calendar with the daily position of Mars retrograde for this 2-month period. And in this way, you will know when exactly Mars will activate certain points at your chart. So interesting period, definitely very interesting. Mars, remember that Mars is the planet of action, but sometimes also it brings confrontations, arguing, sometimes accidents. So if Mars makes challenging major aspects with your planets, this is a time when you need to be more careful, avoid things which can bring accidents, or there is a higher risk. So please check that in your chart. Please check and get prepared for this interesting period. Mars is your own ruler, so you can really be friends with Mars, and you can understand very well the energy of this planet for sure. So remember, everything I talked about is in the description below, with all of the dates, positions of planets, house positions for your sign, and you can use it also as a future reference and come back whenever you want to. So that's the most important for June. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you very soon.